Welcome to Discovering. Tonight, we're catching, not just fishing, for smallmouth bass. And we're traveling the water via motorized kayak. Plus some tips on rigging it up for your own fishing trip.
Whatever, if you're left-handed, right-handed, try and keep one side a little more open.
And we learn about a new system of trail cameras to help scout deer and any other wildlife.
Whether it be a 20-acre property or a 200-acre property.
So sit back and relax. It's Monday night and it's time for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
I recently saw that fellow angler Corie Berrigan started a new fishing guide business, so it was the perfect excuse to meet up for a day of fishing and hear all about it. I met Corie at Blades Bait and Tackle in Gladstone to pick up a rental kayak for me to use. This isn't any ordinary kayak. These are motorized, and I'm excited to test one out.
Here's your order. And when you rent a kayak from Blades, you can use that towards your purchase. So you can rent a couple times, try and make up your mind what you want to do for a kayak. Try a paddle, try a motorized kayak. This little kayak's pretty fast. I actually demoed one of these. They move. And then they're also, which I'm thrilled about, helps me in my business, is if you hire me as a guide, you'll get 50% off your rental fee. And you can still use that 50% that you pay to rent a kayak toward your purchase price. Lots of wildlife here.
To operate this thing, there's a lever on the right that adjusts the speed when you push forward, and backward is reverse. The foot pedals are connected to the rudder to steer the boat. It's pretty darn easy. Corie's own kayak is a step up from the one that I'm using, and hers is rigged up with everything she needs to find and catch fish.
I got the electronics, trolling motor. It's just like a trolling motor on a boat. So I can steer that way, or I have the foot pedals. But that one's nice. So these kayaks are super stable. So I can steer while I'm standing. And then it has a heading. If I want to go exactly in this bearing, this direction, then I just hit the heading button, which is nice, and then I can cast and hit the exact part of the shoreline I want.
I might try and catch a fish too.
I'm going to give you my favorite popper. This one, this Rapala Moss Back Shiner. They have a bunch of tools, pliers, they're all tethered. Pretty easy to drop stuff overboard. It's got a braid with a fluorocarbon leader. Hopefully we can get you on a big bass.
Corie gave me some tips on how to set up all your gear.
You want to set it so you're efficient, it's easy to grab and reach. So I control the rod with my right hand and I left hand reel. So I want to be able to fight and control the fish with my dominant hand. So I keep the net here on the left side because if I have the fish, I can quickly grab my net and I net on the left side. Now notice this side is clear and open. So this is where I land the fish. I can land the fish over here, but I usually try and land the fish on the left side. So Usually you want to kind of think of that when you're rigging up your kayak is whatever, if you're left-handed, right-handed, try and keep one side a little more open. But all right, you ready? Let's go catch.
Corie is an avid smallmouth bass angler, so that's what we're on the hunt for today.
This is primarily smallmouth. There are some largemouth in here, but smallmouth bass are predators. They ambush their prey, so they're gonna hide. They're gonna hold out and wait for some unsuspecting little fish to come by to eat it. I mean, they'll eat anything. Snakes, mice, anything that's in the water is fair game. And I just try and make that popper be like a little wounded fish or frog or whatever. I don't think they care, they just think it's dinner. Pause, move it a little bit. I don't think we have any fish home. They would have bit by now if there was something there.
Our plan is to fish our way to the other side of this lake and return before the wind picks up.
This is a big body of water. Soon as the winds start picking up, the winds are gonna come out of the north, then we should start heading back this way. I've been primarily a fly angler over the years, and I was gonna start guiding next year. But with the support of Blades Bait and Tackle, I just decided to dive into it right here and now. So here we are. It's called Fishing for All Seasons. And the 4 is the number 4. It's kind of an emphasis on 4 seasons and fishing for everybody. The reason I went with the 4 seasons is because I do fish all 4 seasons, and I'm gonna do ice fishing guiding too coming up this winter.
Even if we don't catch fish, just cruising around in these kayaks is a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful lake.
I had to do this too. It helps having the support of Blades Bait and Tackle, but every time I come out kayak fishing, I just look around and I'm like, gosh, it's just amazing, beautiful. It's endless. There's so much fishing between lakes and rivers. And you don't see cabins, you don't see docks. The water's clean. It doesn't get any better. I like teaching, so I like teaching fishing and share the beauty of the UP. When I'm retrieving the lure, I point the rod tip at the lure, and when that fish hits, boom, good set. And if it's a good fish, heavy fish, I'll actually do another set. I'll double set. I really don't like losing big fish. It happens though. Oop, fish just swirled at it. Come on, take it. Come on, fishy. Well, finally some action. There's a fish there. You should try casting like right here.
I did as I was told, and I had a good bite right away, but I wasn't really paying attention and neglected to set the hook. I'll blame it on my camera being in the way, and I'm used to losing fish. Corie is on the water a lot and fishes a few different kayak tournaments.
The kayak tournaments, they're all app-based and just take a measurement photo and release the fish. I am doing the UPKA, Upper Peninsula Kayak Anglers. They have monthly tournaments, and then they have in-person tournaments. Last weekend we were at around the Gwin area lakes. It kind of moves around the UP. The next tournament we're going to be in the Hiawatha National Forest. So it's usually a boundary, and then you can pick whatever lake you want to fish. And those are fun. You do a little research pre-fishing, dial it in, figure out what lake you're gonna come up with the biggest stringer of 5 bass. It's usually either or, largemouth or smallmouth. And then I also do a national virtual tournament, KBF, kayak bass fishing. They have quite a few different tournaments. That's a pretty large organization. Everything is app-based on your smartphone. Basically, you need an approved bump board. So there's no weighing. So you take your app, you take your measurement photo of your fish, release it. You have to release it. You just keep adding fish, so it's your longest stringer of 5 bass. And you know, if you catch a bigger one, then you drop off the smaller one and you just keep extending that stringer of 5 bass. And yeah, I won the month of June for the UPKA, and then I was second overall in the KBF for the entire state of Michigan, so I was pretty excited about that one. So July, I'm doing all right. I need to find some bigger fish, but I'm still sitting in the KBF. I'm still sitting third overall in the state of Michigan. You really need 20-plus inch bass to win these things. I mean, a 15-inch bass is nice, they're a lot of fun, but it's not gonna win tournaments.
The fishing did start off a little slow. It took a while to find the fish, but she found them. They were on the other end of the lake.
It's just a little one. It's a fish. Whoop, come on. I want them to get bigger. Lots of fun. Nice little smallmouth. Okay, we'll let you go. Get bigger. Thanks for playing. I thought I saw that. This is a better one too. Oh yeah, this is a nice one. Woo, good one. Gotta be careful of that when they jump. Do not want to give them any line slack. They're trying to, of course, spit the hook. Come on, in the net. Yes. This actually helped my tournament points. That's a decent one. So we're gonna have to measure this guy. I'm guessing it to be about 17. So I like to get the board wet, because otherwise if the board's dry, that pulls their slime off. That slime is a protective barrier. So now I'm opening up an app. So their mouth has to be closed. Okay, come on, close your mouth. Let your tail down. Just relax. He is 18.
And this smallmouth is going on her virtual stringer.
Okay, letting you go, dude. Thanks for playing.
I'm glad we could help out her month of July.
Oh, this is another good one. Woo! Oh yeah. Come on, I need a 20. I don't know if you're 20. A 19. Come on, in the net. Woo! Oh, the fish are definitely over here. It might not be as big as the other one. There we go. Nice UP Smallie. They're so pretty. The stripes on their face.
The wind picked up and we figured we'd better make our way back to shore.
Looks like the wind switched due north. It's one thing in a kayak or smaller craft, you have to pay attention to that wind.
Halfway back though, we did have to stop for just one more.
So I don't think it's a big one. Oh. Come on. Get in the net. Little one. Got him? All right, there you go. Thanks for playing. Yeah, this, I could see the rocks. It's like, I bet there's fish there.
These kayaks can handle some rough water. If the waves were any bigger, we'd be soaked. Okay, we were. But it wouldn't have been a good test drive if we had smooth sailing the entire day. At least the water was warm. And it was a whole lot easier than paddling. The days are getting shorter, the air is getting cooler, and small splashes of red and yellow leaves all hint that the fall hunting seasons are just around the corner. There's a new system of trail cameras on the market to help you scout your hunting spots or see what kind of wildlife is roaming around. The crew at Hardcore Outfitters of Iron Mountain brought in their rep John Volkman to talk about them.
So what we've got here is the CuddyLink camera system. So it is a network of cameras that allows you to cover any size property, basically, whether it be a 20-acre property or a 200-acre property or larger, with multiple cameras. And the number one main benefit of the CuddyLink system is that you only need to buy one cell plan, and you can run up to 24 cameras on that one cell plan on that particular property. And they start at $10 a month, but like a real heavy user, let's say a customer had a 24 camera system, you can buy an unlimited plan for $30 a month. It has a dual SIM card in it, so you can run AT&T or Verizon. You can actually switch back and forth, so you can determine which one of those providers is going to give you the best signal in your particular location. How it works is you have one home unit, and in this case, it's our L Series home, which is new. This camera receives all the images from the remote cameras that are placed throughout the property, and then it sends them to our server, which ultimately puts them on the app or sends them to your phone or your email address on your computer. This unit is the only unit that needs cell service, which brings us to the next major advantage to the CuddyLink network. In a lot of areas where the deer hunting is the best, you have spotty, if not even horrible, cell service. You can only place a cellular camera where it has very good cell service. So as an example, today we're in the UP. I'm sure there's a lot of areas up here that have poor cell service. If you can find one spot on your property that has decent cell service, that's perfect for the CuddyLink network because you only need one spot. The remainder of the remote cameras, whether it's 1, 2, up to 23 other ones, they do not need cell service. So whether it's down in a gully, where it's over a bluff, whatever it may be, these cameras are sending their images to the home unit via radio frequency. They do not need cell service. So another example would be in the bluff country, real steep terrain up and down where you get good cell service on the top, but very poor to non-existent cell service on the bottom. In that instance, you can run your home unit on top and your remote cameras on the bottom or anywhere else on the property. They all connect and they all send their images to this one, and then this one sends it to you. So the two biggest, and there's other advantages as well, but the two biggest advantages to the CuddyLink system is the affordability, where you only need one plan to run up to 24 cameras, and then you only really need one spot on a particular property that has decent cell service to cover the entire property with cameras. The other common question that I get all the time is, how far do these reach? The other beauty of the CuddyLink system is you can daisy chain it together. So you can start with the home unit in the center of the property, and as an example, let's say we're on a 90-acre piece of property. We could put this in the center of the property. These will reach approximately a quarter mile through wooded terrain, but you can daisy chain them together. So if we were in the center of the property and we wanted to go another 80 acres to the west, we could run one about a quarter mile through wooded terrain, and then the next one would be another quarter mile through the wooded terrain. And those images from that far camera would bounce from this camera back to the home. Ideally, if you can put this home camera in the middle of the property, it's great. You don't have to. What's really important is you put it in a spot where it has good cell service. Now, the other option that isn't used as much since we've come out with the whole cellular is to just run it as a CuddyLink network, but without the cell function. You can designate one of the cameras as a home unit, and then the other ones all as remotes, and you just physically pull this card to view your images. So in an example on the property we're on today, we've got the house right there. You could actually run a home unit or designate a home unit right by the house, and then you could run a network of cameras behind us on the 90 acres. They would all send their images to the home. You could grab your coffee in the morning, walk out on the deck, pull the card, put it in your computer, look at all your images, and it wouldn't cost you anything as far as cell service.
Next week, John will give us some helpful tips on setting up trail cameras. That's all for tonight, and I hope to see you right back here next week for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.